and good night wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Can't Read a Market Talk. I got a lot of people asking, hey Mike, you got to start doing Can't Read Market Talk more often. I like it. So I promise with you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the Mondays, okay? And I'm going to start doing the cleanup on Fridays. So we're going to do our predictions on Mondays and where things are headed or where we think things are going to go, because the markets are so they're predictable in a way because you know they're going to be pumping money into the system. And then how long of a lag is there between you till you start to see some sort of gains when it comes to the stock side of things, right? So I've been doing very well. I'm going to be very frank with you guys. I've been doing very well. I've built a small, tiny empire, and I'm going to keep going as much as I could by playing their game. Remember, guys, it's about playing their game. What you learned in Business Class 101, nothing applies to what's happening right now in the markets. Nothing prepared anybody for what's happening in the markets now. All right, guys, so let's kick it off. We got people rolling into the comments, guys. We'll be live every Monday and every Friday if you guys want to check us out on Can't Read Market Talk. Can't Read Market Talk. Second or third, arguably most important show on YouTube. I'm being sarcastic. Hold on, I got my... let me put my cross here in front of me there. Okay, the date is June 15, 2020. We are halfway through the year, and it's arguably one of the memorable years that we have now. 2020 is a memorable year. Like I kept saying with that joke, if I was Marty or Doc, I'd go back to Back to the Future, to the Twin Pines Mall. And I tell Marty or Doc, basically, guys, whatever you do, do not set this thing to 2020. It is the biggest scam ball mix of toxic garbage, media garbage. And it's also, don't forget, guys, it is also a election year. 2021 will be a breeze. It's just, I think things like my YouTube channel will start picking up again in 2021 because it won't be an election year. So we got a lot of people. So we got Pathfinder saying, will we end in the red or green today market in the markets? I'm hearing mixed results. So let's go over to article scan here real quick. You're watching Can't Read Market Talk. All right, let's see what I got open here. Let's open some of the basic markets here and find out what's going on right now. That's a good question. Let's refresh this. Even though this is live, markets will be open for 3 hours and 57 minutes longer. So we got the Toronto Stock Exchange sitting in the red down 92.79. And at 15,162, we got the S&P at 3,026 down 1444. We got the Dow Jones sitting at 25,402 down 203 points. We got the Canadian/US dollar trading at 73 cents. We got crude oil at $36 a barrel. Oil's having a really tough time making to $40 a barrel. I thought it was going to hit $40 a barrel by the end of last month, but it didn't. That was dead wrong. Then we got Bitcoin. That's about 9,000 US. I'm trying to do the conversion there from Canadian to US. Then we got the gold futures sitting at $1,726. That's down $11.30. The Russell 2000 is down 638. When you see the Russell 2000 sitting at 1,381, when you see the Russell 2000 go down, you see a lot of people's hedge funds and all that stuff go down. Hedge funds and those things people buy. I don't even buy that stuff. I don't even care about that stuff. Oh, we got the Raven in the comments. We got Donaire in the comments. We got Lord Humongous 26 Gunter. People are rolling in. The NASDAQ is up 1432, sitting at 9,603. Volatility is up, though, When markets go down, volatility always goes up. The VIX sitting at 38.15, up 206. And when the VIX goes up, usually gold goes up, but gold's not going up. It's just in the red. 10-year bond is 0.68. And the NASDAQ, we already got that. So markets overseas, the Nikkei was down. Sitting at, the FTSE, was down. The Nikkei was down. And let's look at the All Ords here if we got a Yahoo Finance from. The All Ords was down. And the Australian Stock Exchange was down. Wow, and everything was down. Okay, everything was down, guys. So all the markets were down. We're coming in from a dip from overseas. So I'm completely out of the markets again. I sold new gold, because Raven's in the comments. I sold new golds, that stock we were talking about last time. I sold it when it peaked out the other day. I sold new golds. We'll go into the Canadian figures here. I sold it at almost $1.80. Okay, let's look exactly. I'll tell you what I sold it at. I didn't sell it at 2. I'm jealous. I sold it at about like $1.95. I sold my entire stake in it at $1.95. I'm jealous. I see it go up to $2.03. I'm feeling like a double stab in the heart there. So I'm kind of, oh, well, it is what it is, right? So there's NGD. That's one that I keep buying a lot. Air Canada, I sold this morning, guys. I'm sorry. What the hell is Air Canada? Okay, Air Canada. Sorry, guys. I sold it. No, that's something else. Is that an American? No, that's something else. What's the Air Canada? Air Canada. Yeah, here it is. So I did sell it this morning at 19. I took about a couple of $100 loss on Air Canada this morning. I was wrong. I thought it was going to go up in the new week. So I was dead wrong on Air Canada because of that announcement that they were making, and they were pleading to the liberal government. And I was thinking like this: oh well, hey, listen. Canada's government bails out everything that represents Canada in some way, shape, or form. So this will actually, look like that the federal government would bail them out. Because, oh, look at Canada's airline, Air Canada. Look at them. They're going down. What is the government doing there, right? So I kind of played into that. And I was dead wrong. So Air Canada is dropping. I'm going to pick it up again when it reaches $14, like I always do. I usually wait $14, $15, and I pick up that stock. There's kind of quite a few that I pick up. I do pick up Suncor here from time to time. If it goes back to 21, I'll buy it again and sell it at 20. What was it at? 27. It reached 27 the other day. So I usually pick it up at 21 and sell it at 25 if I can. I don't get too greedy, because I don't want to hold the stock for way too long. That's what happened when you're playing these big swings. You got to be super careful for how long you hold the stock for. So last week I lost about $4,000 in trading, but it is what it is. I'm still up, doing really well from a lot of big swings. I'm not crying over $4,000, right? It's not a big deal, right? But there's lots going on. So let's go to some of the top stories here. Big money maybe soon be cashing the Robinhood investor. Well, I know a couple of people like Lord Humongous, who's with Robinhood, and all the other guys. Okay, let's go to some comments real quick. We got the Raven in the comments, says Air Canada got a bail-in from all the people they screwed out of refunds. Yeah, I heard about that, Raven. And then Air Transat, like there's like 50 other, Philippine airline, they won't give us back a refund, and we got like $5,000 in tickets we got there, and they just sorry sir, Filipino airline, sorry sir. It's like, oh my god, get this guy out to a bar or something. Okay. So let's see what's going on with this Robinhood thing, because I know a lot of people using this. Robinhood may be soon chasing the Robinhood investor. Morning brief. What is going on? Oh, this is a market recap. There's no Robinhood. They're not talking about. No. There's no Robinhood. S&P. I'm just looking through the video here to see if they have anything to say. No, they're talking about the VIX, which we talked about. Okay, institutional investors are underexposed to the stock market. They're underexposed, huh? One of the most fascinating stories in finance right now is the explosion of retail investors, riding the stock market's current 3-month long rally higher. The global pandemic brought retail investors back into the equity market after being largely absent for a decade. Deutsche Bank strategist Blinky wrote last week, they were important buyers of our correction in equities. Okay, so they're not talking about Robinhood trading platform. I'm sorry, guys. I thought that's what they meant, right? Because we are talking about trading here. They're talking about like putting money into into the equity markets where they were basically absent for a whole friggin' decade. Okay, the phenomena has caught attention of more Wall Street experts who are split whether or not Robinhood class of investors. Okay, this is not a Robinhood. So there it is, guys. Robinhood class of investors. I remember actually reading about that in a business book I picked up, chapters, and it just completely like, whoo, it's early in the morning here. Remember, guys, it's still 9 o'clock in the morning here. And I had to set the show up too, right? Okay. Institutional investors' positioning in equities, by contrast, remains extremely low. Blinky observed, equity positions in our reading has risen from a record low in March back up to the bottom of its prior range. And let's see if it goes into something important here. Positioning trends to be correlated with macro data and represents an upside risk as growth rebounds. Again, keywords, upside risk, guys. Blinky said in institutional investors. So there it is. A lot of people are going back into the equity markets as a Robinhood to save the. There it is right here. This consolidated equity positioning. There you go. And this is from the Z scores for positioning the flows indicator. So there it is right there. So if you remember in January when things started to really hit the fan and they started closing things down in February and then March got really bad, you started noticing a lot of these markets were starting to really get a kick in the pants. So let's go back. Okay, trends pipeline restarts after oil spill. Manufacturing sales plunged in April, says StatsCan. Manufacturing, obviously, well, it's obviously going to go down, right? Especially, it's going to be going down at least for another quarter, at least. Oh, let me fix this thing here. Sorry, guys. United secures a $5 billion loan backed by loyalty program. So I got my ear to the ground to see what Air Canada is going to do. Because I believe, like, a lot of the big airlines and stuff are going to keep their, you know. And then you're probably wondering, wait, Mike, this is a really bad position in all ways. And you'll be like, wait, what do you mean? What? You think Air Canada is bad? Yeah, Mike, that's terrible. The airlines? Especially with this and that? Well, here's the deal with Air Canada. Let me tell you a little secret. Canada needs Air Canada. It needs to bring in its foreign investing onshore. It needs to bring in all these Canadians, these millions of Canadians living in Hong Kong. Canada needs Air Canada more for its economy than it does for its investors and its local people. Its local people can't afford to fly Air Canada. Its local people fly WestJet and discount travels and all that stuff. They don't fly Air Canada. I never fly Air Canada. It's always 3 times the price. But Air Canada is needed to bring in a lot of money. The average Canadian is $200 away from going insolvent. They don't fly Air Canada. They need Air Canada to bring in money, right? So let's get over to the comments. We got Layla in the comments. We got the Raven. The Raven in the comments. We got David Xavier in the comments. Lord Humongous. Oh, Don't Air. Don't Air in the house. Oh, like always. All right, let's get back to it, guys. Guys, let's start leaving some tickers, please, if you don't mind. Leaving some tickers in the comments. We could go over some tickers. Guys, if you have a prediction for Friday's show, today is Monday. If you have a prediction for Friday, go ahead and leave your ticker in the comments, and we're going to take a look at it, okay, guys? Leave your prediction. We'll look at a stock, and we'll stamp it. We'll stamp your prediction in stone. I might even write it down. And we'll go back to your predictions, and we will actually go over what if you were right or wrong. And if it's a decent position, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'm going to be very frank with you guys. I will write it down, and then if it's a decent position and it made money, I'll be very happy. Okay, no problem. China could buy Air Canada. No, Layla, yes, they can. Don't say that out loud. Damn, I said that out loud. Because last thing we need is some of our big airline carriers, like Qantas and American Airlines and Air Canada and all those big ones. Royal Emirates and all kinds of airlines from all over the world to be bought up on pennies on the dollar, and then we're screwed, man. We're screwed. All right, there's Suncor. Suncor is staying steady here. Dawn almost $1, but I'm keeping an eye. I got my watch list. Right? Can I show you guys what else I watch on my? You know what stock I sell? 50 gazillion times a year. Let me see if I can find the Toronto one. Is this one, Trillium. I buy and sell Trillium, right? And TRIL. Let me see if I could find the Toronto one. There it is. So I usually buy Trillium, and I usually buy it at $5 or $6, right? I sold mine too early. I sold my Trillium too early. I sold my Trillium at $10, and it's already at $10.92. I bought it last week, but I sold it way too early. Damn, I should have held it. Yeah, I bought it last week. What did I buy? I bought it at this dip. It was a dip here. No, it was last Monday then. So I bought it. Yeah, it was like $9.50 something. I bought it on a weird dip. I bought it at $9 something, and I sold it back at $10. I should have held it to 11. Man, it's going to go up to 11 today. Guys, keep an eye on Trillium. There it goes, 10.91. Guys, always keep your eye on Trillium. I have it on my watch list, and I watch it like a hawk. And then what it does, if you look at the 6 months, it does these dips all the time. And if you could follow these dips, you always find these valleys here that you could always jump in on. Yeah, I remember back here in January when it reached like 90 cents, and then it just went right back up. I didn't pick it up at 90 cents. I'm not going to lie. I did not. I did not pick it up that low. I picked it up back at 5, and then I sold it back at 10. I picked it up at 5 a few times and sold it back at 10. Keep an eye on Trillium, guys. Trillium Therapeutics. It's a, let's see what Yahoo's telling us. It's a buy. So let me move this for my fat head here. Here it is, guys. So Yahoo is telling us it's a buy right now. And Trillium Therapeutics, Inc. is a clinical stage immunology company, develops therapies for the treatment of cancer. The company's lead program, TTI-1, whatever, is a fusion protein that acts as a soluble decoy receptor, preventing CD47 from delivering its... I don't even know what I'm reading there. So that's one that I always buy and sell it. It's always moving up and down. Is this one here? All right, who we got here? So Layla said they fired an Emirates pilot, then he committed suicide. And Lord is saying short MSFT, Bill Gates, short Apple, Amazon, and shorted Google. Layla is really sad. No, I'm on the sidelines right now, guys. I'm not in anything right now. I kind of wish I held Trillium to $11. I'm really hitting myself on that because I did have it, and I said, you know what? It usually goes to 11, but I don't want to risk it. I want to walk away with something. It's okay. I walked away with something anyway. I'm not too hard on it, but that's okay, right? Another one that, if you guys want to see another one that I look at right here, is this one. This is a really good one. I strongly recommend this one if you guys get some time to look at it and do your own research, of course. Is this one. It's a Crescent Point. I buy Crescent Point all the time. I picked it up at $1.10. I sold it back at $3. I picked it back up at $2. Sold it back at like $3-4. It goes nuts. This stock is all over the place, so I always pick it up on these dips. I've been watching this. I usually pick up Crescent Point. I'm waiting for Crescent Point to go down to 190, 185, and then that's when I pick up this guy. So guys, do your research and see. Right now it is a hold with Yahoo. Crescent Point explores, develops, and produces light to medium crude oil and natural gas reserves in Western Canada and the United States. The company's crude oil and natural gas properties related to assets are located in the provinces of Saskatchewan, Alberta, British Columbia, Manitoba, and the states of the North Dakota and Montana. This one here I've been buying back and forth. I remember the dips, some big dips it had 2 years ago, and I kept buying them. They look like there's some sort of, like, I'm going to let you guys in on a little inside information. They've been talking about mergers. There's been mergers with this company or buyouts. So I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. Crescent Point might be sold by the end of this year. If acquisitions go right, I'm just kind of letting you guys know where Crescent Point's headed, right? So this is Motley Fool's article. Let's take a look at it. 2 oil stocks that could drop to 0 in 2020. So they're saying Crescent Point Energy and Birchcliff Energy could also go to 0 right now. I never really invested in Birchcliff. I didn't, but Crescent Point is one of the risky ones I always played with. Always played with Crescent Point. Okay, guys, let's give me some tickers in the comments, please. Give me some tickers in the comments, and we will look them up. And then Friday we will confirm whether or not those stocks did well. Oh, if you're also putting an option, that's also okay. If you're putting an option and you want to short something, that's also okay too. You go ahead and tell me if there's a short you want to throw out there. I will be more than happy to discuss a short too. Or options. I don't care. Anything goes here, right? And I'll write it down on a piece of paper. I never write anything down on paper. I never write anything at all. But I would be more than happy to write this down for you guys, and we will follow it up on Friday. Super stock ticker is free, says Nat Pacheco. Lower Scratcher says Robinhood users buying bankruptcy stock in like Hertz. Yeah, we covered that last week. They're trying to sell. Let's see if they have the Hertz story up here as one of their top stories. Let's go over here and see if we got a Hertz story. Which one was it? Oops. Let's see if it was the... All right, let's go into some of the news here. We've missed it. Long lines from outside shops in England. London. For many in England, it's been a day of much-needed retail therapy. Long lines stretched down the streets in England on Monday as shop items selling, it's considered. So there you go. We got people in England out and about shopping. It looks like there's quite a few in this image. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't see a lot of social distancing. I am hopeful that while the overall atmosphere will feel a bit different to them, they could actually find is a kind of pleasant surprise that it's calm. It's pleasant. It's well-ordered. Well-ordered. Big Brother's watching you, said Andrew Murphy, Director of Operations. But it's also still got a real advantage of physical shopping experience and that things that you can't do online. Yeah. There it is there. Okay, so it looks like England's back on its feet. Coca-Cola has a premium YF premium investments idea for Coca-Cola. So, news on the move. Atlanta police chief resigns after fatal shooting. More than 40K cruise workers stuck at sea. Stocks paired decline. Treasuries gain. Market wrap-up. So this is from 13 minutes ago. U.S. stocks paired losses while treasuries gained as investors debated whether a second wave of the pandemic is emerging. So again, guys, they didn't teach you this in business school, right? When you were learning your business in business school, like this kind of stuff. So second wave, follow the trends. Is there really a second wave? You know what? I couldn't care less. I'm going to go about my life like I usually do. And I don't think there's a second wave, but is there a second wave in motion in the business world to adjust the economy or to play a game or to cloak and dagger, to pull a cloak and dagger, right? Okay, we got, there's lots of people in the comments now. Donaire is saying, news on CBC today about the Ebola from Canada lab to Wuhan. Yeah, I covered that like 2 years ago when the Ebola was being smuggled out of a Canadian lab. I covered that like 4 years ago actually. And the person that was doing it, that was smuggling it to China, nothing happened. They continued working there for another 5 or 6 more years. Pathfinder is saying, what do you think of Wendy's after rioters burned on down? Does it affect the prices? If I was a Wendy's CEO, this would be an absolute great opportunity to raise the prices on everything. Because all they're going to do is saying, hey, wait a minute, hold on a second. Guys, remember, we lost 8, 5, 12, whatever locations across America. Those locations we lost, unfortunately, we're going to have to raise the price on our food. And that's when you start to see prices of food going up because they're going to want to recoup the losses of all those other locations by those bad guys that went out and burnt their stuff down and destroyed their stuff in the name of protesting. I don't even know what they're protesting anymore, to be honest with you. So yes, you will see fast food restaurant chains start raising their prices on stuff, especially if they had buildings or affected. And they could even say, like, let's say realistically, they got 3 of their fast food chains burnt down. They could easily say, we got 22 of our chains burnt down to the ground. We're going to have, and then this way, they go ahead and hike the price on everything and keep it permanent. And then people are going to be like, we're going to have to pay more for this now because we went off the handle and started to go crazy. Yep. Yeah, okay, so we got Pathfinder in the comments. Guys, come on, put your tickers in the comments. Put your tickers. I'll write them down here. We'll look up your ticker symbol, and we'll see where it's going to head by Friday. If you want to short something, no problem. Go ahead and tell us if there's something we should short. If there's something, I am here with you guys. I don't, we are here. So, I'm not going to hold you to it. You know what I mean? Let's go back to article scan here. So we were looking at Air Canada. I was dead wrong last week about Air Canada, guys. I'm really sorry. That announcement went through they were begging the federal government on Thursday. They were begging them on Friday. I went ahead and bought a bit of a position, and I thought it was going to keep going up. And man, was I dead wrong. It did close in a positive territory. I did make money, but I lost that entire gain when the market opened this morning. So I just sold out and walked away. So Layla is saying tomato prices increased 42% in Canada. NAK? Okay, Lord Humongous is giving me a thing. NAK? Northern Dynasty Minerals. You can always depend on Lord Humongous to give you to give you a ticker symbol. Here it is, guys. NAK, Northern Dynasty Minerals. I'm going to go ahead. Man, I might even create a watch list for this show just so we could have our own watch list on the show that we could actually follow. So NAK for Friday. Who are these guys? Lord, are they going to go up, or do you want to short this company? I think this company is going to go down in Lord Humongous's. Okay, we got one more from Lord. Okay, that's enough, Lord. That's 2 is enough. TRX. And then we'll see. I know what you're looking for. I know what these are. So let's open that, and we'll open TRX. Okay, so we got 2 from Lord. Thank you. Now, we're going to see if we get one from anyone else watching here so we can get a nice diverse group. So let's go with Northern Dynasty Minerals lot. I remember investing in these guys. I don't know when, but it was a time. I remember Northern Dynasty. They must have. Here they are, guys. They're on fire. Northern Dynasty is on fire right now. They are showing. Let's look at the last 6 months. They're showing a nice clean sailing up. Let's look at the last month. They did run, obviously they did run into a little bit of trouble there. But yeah, they are looking like they got a little bit of jazz to them there. 145, they're up 11 cents right now as we speak. And they're up 7.84%. Definitely a stock to look at. And what do they do? I know what they do. They're a strong buy right here on Yahoo. And they are Northern Dynasty Minerals lot engages in the exploration of mineral properties in the United States. Its principal mineral properties is the Pebble, copper, gold, molybdenum project composing 2,402 mineral claims that covers an area of approximately 417 square miles located in southwest Alaska. The company was formerly known as Northern Dynasty Exploration. Okay, that's why. I think the name is that changed. And changed its name to Northern Dynasty Minerals. Let's also see if it's on the TSX. Northern Dynasty Minerals. I think it is. I think it's on NAK. Is it on the Toronto? I think it was on the. I remember buying this on the Toronto Stock Exchange. I guess I was dead wrong. Huh? So familiar. There you go. It's up 11 cents right now. So it is moving. Lord Humongous does have his finger on the pulse when it comes to the gold and silver markets. And let's look up his second TRX. Let's look up TRX here. Let's look up his another pick. I think it's this one here. There's a couple. Okay, then it's this one here. Here it is, guys. Tanzanian Gold Corporation. Another gold company. It's trading at 74 cents right now. Tanzanian gold. I'm going to write that down. 74 cents. We'll see where it goes by Friday's show. Let's go. I want to write down the price of the other one. $1.44 for NAK. And we will take a look at that come Friday. Do a market cleanup and see where Lord's predictions are. So these two might be good finds for the week. You never know. Might be good finds for the week. So we got Mitch Madden saying, here in the Oregon coast, I'm seeing a slight scarcity of certain grocery products, price increases in some items. Overall, nothing alarmed thus far. Okay, guys, we got 20 minutes in the show. Let's talk a little bit about food prices here. Let's go to our top stories and then see if we got anything about food here. We got ASX crashes on Beijing outbreak. That's what happened there overseas last night, guys. I didn't check. I was asleep early last night. I was tired, man. We got 5 things giving Australians business owners hope right now. I guess it's the people getting free money. 12 reasons property investors fail to build multi-million-dollar portfolio. Because properties are already high. Yeah, you're gonna own a multi-million-dollar a portfolio in real estate, but what did you buy the properties for? $1 million each? What's the point? This crypto sector has gone from zero to US to, and it's not Bitcoin. Oh, okay. Who is this? Who is this? Crypto lingo, almost 1.5 billion industry cracked the $1 billion mark when markets generally peaking in February. What the hell is it called? Oh, DeFi's? Decentralized finance is a digital take on financial products based mainly entirely on the Ethereum platform. Okay, so it's an Ethereum blockchain platform, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I'm slow at finding these things sometimes. Gold just creeped up. It's at $36.55, up 29 cents. Let's see if gold's going anywhere here right now. Oop, no, that's the Australian stock market. Let's look up silver really quick because we've got a lot of silver bugs watching the channel. Let's look up price of silver. See if this one's open here. Oh my God. These guys want to sell me something. Okay, silver is bidding at $17.23, asking $17.34. It is down 25 cents right now. So silver, I'll have the silver spot open, guys, for you guys going forward. A lot of silver bugs watching the show too, and I have a ton of physical silver. I'm not, not too concerned about silver right now because it's not making any big moves. It's making a lot of downward pressure on silver right now, right? So we got Supreme Court upholds key permit for Atlantic Coast Pipeline. So here it is. U.S. Supreme Court upheld a crucial permit for Dominion Energy Inc.'s planned $8 billion Atlantic Coast Pipeline, saying the Forest Service acted lawful by clearing debris. Drone capture. Okay, this is a stupid ad. FDA clears new version of Abbott's diabetes glucose monitor. Okay. Business. Jaguar Land Rover post surprise sales surge in China. Treasuries rally after Beijing cases renew second wave of fears. What else? We don't care about the richest billionaires because the richest billionaires couldn't give a crap about us anyway. Stock markets go ahead of itself in COVID recovery. Wealth Consulting Group says, and CEO. And BP takes a $17.5 billion hit as the pandemic accelerates emission cuts. Woo! GE this week. Bear on GE this week. There's a bear market. Okay, so we're looking at a downturn in GE. Let's look up GE, General Electric. All right, let's look at GE. Yep, it's already down. Let's look at the last, the last 5 days. I might short this. You know what, David, I'm going to write that down for this Friday. We're going to see where GE, General Electric is sitting. I will be shorting this on Friday. I'll be shorting this right now. Actually, it looks like it's, unless it gets some sort of bailout or some Mickey Mouse crap. This is on the U.S. Stock Exchange, so it is at. So we're shorting that, and that is 717 right now. And let's look at the last month. It did have a bit of a recovery. At the end of May, things started to pick up. Thanks, David Xavier, for that stock ticker. Guys, if you want to drop any stock tickers here on the live stream, we're going to do a market cleanup come Friday. We'll be cleaning up the market on Friday and see where we sit. I will create here on Yahoo Finance, I will create a watch list portfolio. And what I could do is I could even buy some of the stock and actually, some of the real stock I own and actually start putting it up here as I buy it with you guys and sell it. So then we could see where we go with this thing, right? And I've been following, and it's about following the trends in the markets, like Gerald Celente. Trends in the markets, like Gerald Celente says. Follow what's happening in the trends, and you will find out what's happening in the markets, right? A little tweet gets out there, and guess what happens? A little tweet goes a long way nowadays. Ravi G saying Hertz. Well, we know where Hertz is going, and I don't even. I just can't fathom how Hertz is in the courts trying to sell billions of dollars of garbage stock that's going to go nowhere. It's like, how the hell do you entertain something like that? How do you... Woo! All right, so anybody laying any puts, go ahead. Puts, gains, anything, options, please let me know in the comments. I will go ahead and actually throw that down here for you guys. We'll do a throwdown. So GE, I might short that this morning, actually. GE names new head of aviation unit. Yeah, usually when you start seeing companies falter like this, let's go to article scan. Here it is, guys. Usually when you start to see companies falter like this, you start to see a change in management always. So here we go, guys. Live silver price. Silver is down now 22 cents. And let's go back up. We should have a live gold price too instead of having to go here. Where's gold? Where are you, gold? Gold futures. Here it is. And let's look at where gold's been the last 6 months. Obviously, you did see that dip late February, March-ish. You started to see it go down, but then you started to see it tick back up where a lot of people were testing and putting money into gold as a safe haven, right? Because when the markets go to crap, the best hedge against inflation is always gold, right? Real money is gold, right? Like Lord Humunga says. Guys, if you like this transmission, I'll make a Teespring. I'll make a morning Can't Read Market Talk Teespring mug maybe for you guys and a t-shirt if you guys want. And walk down the street and say, what is that? Well, this is guy on YouTube. He can't even read, but he's talking about the markets. I kind of find him amusing at times. So, who could we call? Could we call somebody on the show before because we're going to end at 10 a.m. here. So we got, who can we call on the show? Who wants to come on the show and talk a little bit about markets? Let's look at, I promised Mitch will look at the shortage of food or food shortage. Okay, let's find something that's recent. Okay, what will it take to avoid a global food shortage? No. U.S. plants rise. Okay, U.S. food makers stock up on ingredients in case of another wave. Well, Mitch was telling me that he was seeing a shortage in some grocers there in Portland. So let me see if I could get. Let me see. I hope Mitch is awake right now. I don't know if he's popping in back and forth and. Let's call Mitch right now. Mitch was telling. He's setting up, guys. He's setting up.
Hey, Mike.
Mitch, what's up, buddy?
Not much. What's going on?
Nada. I'm just calling you. You were talking about a slight food shortage happening in in your area.
Yeah. I've been noticing that for a couple of months.
Mm-hmm. And in the Portland area. What do you think? What are your predictions in the next half year? We're half year now. What are you predicting for the next half year? Food shortage or not?
I don't think we're going to have a food shortage in America.
Okay.
That's one of the few things that America still actually produces is an overabundance of food. And one of the reasons is not only we have nice, fertile, arable land, but we cover quite a long breadth of latitude. We're down near all the way from Florida, the South Mexican border,
yes.
in the west, and all the way up north, in the Canadian border. So. we've got a growing we've got things that can grow all year long without a great deal of cost. Hydroponics, etc., like
Yeah,
that.
and greenhouses and stuff. Because when I was living in Florida, they were growing all year round, right? All year,
Yep.
everything.
Yep. You
So
can go down to California, down in the Central Valley, and you can see just miles and miles and miles and miles in every direction. Things growing most of the year, and then of course it's real easy to import things from south of the border, from Mexico. It just comes right up,
I
and
have some good news, Mitch.
uh,
In southern part of Canada, where we have a mild climate in the Vancouver Lower Mainland area, where we get a temperate climate, we can't really grow year round, but we grow 8 months, 9 months of the year, like health, like a very good. We sold out a majority of that land to Chinese investors to build mega mansions on them. So we lost a lot of our Lower Mainland farming
mm.
to Chinese investors to build mega mansions. So
Yeah, yeah. When you got killed on Mike in the Night Saturday night, when your thing got shut down,
mhm.
um, the first thing I thought of is you had posted about China a few things that could be perceived as derogatory, and I was thinking that may have got them onto you a little bit heavier than normal.
Well, it's not. Well, I wasn't being derogatory. I was just calling a spade, right? Why
Well, I
we
mean, it
have.
could be perceived by the whoever makes the algorithmic rules.
Mhm.
It could be perceived as derogatory because it's the truth, and it's nothing inflammatory in my opinion. But they could see it as they don't want to hear the truth.
Mhm. Well, here, let me go to article scan here and show you guys what Mitch is talking about. So here's the Mike in the Night. So I wrote a blurb up here. Mike in the Night had an amazing start last night. It was axed by ThemTube and killed the stream, then had to restart a new stream key. So a lot of people will say, well, Mike, you restarted the stream and you got to go. And no, all the people that set their reminders to that stream lost that key. So basically, for me, I restarted a stream. I had about 50 people watching because a lot of people lost that original, and that's what YouTube does. They hacks it. So here it is. So are you ready for this, Mitch? On Saturday, not yesterday anymore, from 8 to 9 p.m., I had 954 people watching me live. And I have it on
And
the
you,
screenshot right here
and
fr-
you had 50
after.
when you find. Yeah, I tried to get back onto your live stream on Mike in the Night Saturday. For at least 20-25 minutes after, maybe probably a good half hour now that I think about it. And I could not get back on and see you.
Yeah, a lot of people now go on my channel, they look me up by name, and they still can't find me when they look up my channel by name. They can't
Hmm.
find my channel.
Yeah, they have some type of a deletion process or something with the on the search criteria.
Yeah. So I am no longer being found even by name. A lot of people are people that are upset and stay subscribed could find me, but people looking me up cold, and I get a lot of customers come in my store, Mitch, and they walk in and they go ahead and I go ahead, look up my channel. They go, okay, no problem. They pull out their phone, they can't find it. They can't find me. Not even
Yeah,
remnants of video or anything.
you can't tell the truth if it doesn't if it disagrees or doesn't fall in line with their narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. So there it is, guys. Last mic of the night that got axed was at 954 people watching that 1 hour. That 1 hour from 8 to 9. And it breaks my heart, to put in so much work. Guys, if you want to go against the algorithm, go ahead and set your reminders. I set up a lot of Can't Read Market Talks and Mike in the Nights. Go ahead and set your reminders here for Trends in the Housing Market on Wednesday, Mike in the Night on Saturday. And just go ahead and set your reminders here, guys, please, so that at least you can get to those mainstream keys. And if they go down, refresh the page in a few minutes. I'll try to come back with another one, but it won't have the same viewership, So for business, you have any tickers for us, Mitch? Any companies that you've been longing, that you've been in and out or looking at for the last couple of years? What do you think, Mitch?
Well, as far as the stock market goes, I've been other than I used to belong to a few mutual funds, individual mutual funds, and then I had through 401ks and stuff in the past. But I stay out of the stock market. I really have an adversity. What do you call it? I'm not into gambling at all, and that's the way I see the stock market. And I do feel strongly that a person should try to hold as much gold and silver in their possession as they can, and held in real good quality products too.
Okay,
Not just
I'm with gold and silver. Is there any gold juniors or gold miners that you recommend or no?
no. I just the people that are interested in speculating. I
Mm.
recommend that they go to Sprott, Eric Sprott, and Rick Rule, and Peter Schiff is a little bit of a pumper, but he's a smart guy at Euro Pacific Capital.
Hmm.
But I think I would go to the Sprott website and try to get an education before I got into any junior miners. But if I was younger and wanted to speculate, the junior miners is where I would go right now, in a
Okay.
big way.
See,
In
that's
a
what
big
I
way.
wanted to get out of you. Where would you go right now? So, junior miners, I'm in junior miners back and forth, a couple of silver, a couple of gold, a couple of
Mhm.
gold mines, right?
Yeah, Jim Sinclair has a mine over in I don't know. There's 53 countries in Africa. Africa's a huge continent, 11 million square miles. It's it's actually Africa's bigger than China, America, and Australia combined as
Mm.
far as square. But I don't remember it might be Tanzania. But Jim Sinclair has a mine, and I don't know how safe the jurisdiction is, but he put I think he put 16 million of his own money into the mine, and it's just starting to produce. And I guess they're waiting to get the final assays out, but it's actually under production now, just started. And that company may be something worth looking into.
Do you know what the company is called?
No, I don't know what the ticker is on it,
Okay.
but Jim Sinclair is one of the key investors in that mine, and it sounds like it. I guess it was assaying really good in all the core samples and stuff. But he's been working on this for years, and it's finally going into production. And I think that if the results are as good as he was anticipating, that stock might have a big move. But I don't follow it enough because I haven't been interested in investing. But it just so happens that a lot of the websites and the vloggers I listen to happen to be in the gold and silver space,
Oh, yeah.
and the large cap, the big miners, like Barrett and Newmont has had a good move this year.
Hold
He
on a sec, Mitch. Mitch, hold on a sec. So, Tanzanian Gold Corporation, that's the one that Lord Humongous brought up earlier in the show, in the first quarter of the show. He actually brought TRX up. So, that's kudos for Lord Humongous for bringing that up, and it's been brought up again on the show. So, it's TRX. I might long this stock. It's at 70. It's at 74. It's still at 74. Okay, continue, Mitch.
Well, I'm just wondering if the TRX is the Jim Sinclair mine. I'm just wondering where that was a month ago or 2 months ago.
I'll tell you right now. Let's look at the like. It's taken a dip. So it was sitting at about 88 cents back in May, and then let's go back to the last 6 months. Oh wow, it's gone up huge. So at the end of March, it went from pretty much 50 cents. We're looking at the 50-cent range, and it went all the way up to the 70-cent mark right now. So it did go up fast in a heartbeat at the tail end of March.
Yeah, if I was, I hear guys that really study the gold space and as far as the miners go, talk about the juniors and how what the saying is the big boys, the majors, have actually proven reserves in the ground. But the miners have narratives. They have stories. I mean, the juniors have stories, and so you're taking a chance. But if you do your homework on the juniors, you can reduce. Say, for example, you review 100 juniors. There might be probably less than 10 that you feel relatively safe investing
Stable.
in. Yeah, you feel safe investing in that they're operating in a relatively stable jurisdiction, because mines can be taken over depending on the country that they're in. It can be nationalized, or it can just be taken over by some military coup or anything.
Yeah, especially in Tanzania. Now, we got a question here from Layla. Mines being bought up by China, is that not an issue?
Oh, yes, it's an issue. When you have the kind of clout and the kind of demand that China has, you can go into most of the countries in sub-Saharan Africa. I don't know about the North Africa, but sub-Saharan Africa, you can go into most of those countries and just find out who the leadership is, just like America has done in the past with the Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Right.
That's what China's doing in Africa, is they're going in and find out who the leadership is, grease their palms, and help them with some infrastructure, et cetera, and then start capturing their natural resources.
Instead of doing this, I did a documentary in Portuguese on my Portuguese channel called Africa for Sale, and I've been covering this for many years, and it's almost cost me my life. With Chinese companies coming in, because when the Portuguese went into Africa in the 1500s, they actually built it to live there, right? And the Chinese right now are taking over Portuguese Africa because the infrastructure the Portuguese built, highways, airports, soccer stadiums, libraries, condominiums everywhere. The Portuguese built all that, but then now the Chinese have been going in and starting to lend money to them and play games with them, right? So that was a pretty bad. It's pretty bad what's happening right now. I did an article in Mozambique, in Portuguese Africa, where the article was sent to me by somebody on the city council. One of the city councilors in the city of Maputo there sent this to me and said that China has been actually clear logging all their good wood, like clearing the wood and shipping it all back to China, and they're getting paid less than pennies on the dollar, like less. And you know what China is giving them in return? China is saying to this, we built these roads that go nowhere into these forest areas for you guys. We built these roads. These roads should offset these trees, but these roads go nowhere. So, and that has upset a lot of people.
Yeah, well, China is doing what America has been doing for years, have you ever read or listen to in detail description of that Confessions of an Economic Hitman?
I think the Raven was supposed to mail it to me, but I'll listen to the audiobook in the next couple of days. I think the Raven was supposed to mail me that book, and it ended up at the Pentagon somehow. I don't know how, but
well, I'll try to cover it in short. The guy he worked for a big bank. He had a special department with a bunch of people working for him, and his job was to look into different countries around the world and see what opportunities they had to capitalize on as far as speculation in natural resources, and then they used the World Bank and the IMF, and say the World Bank would go in and present a proposal to that company. They'd find out who the leadership was, whose palms they needed to grease, and then they would offer a proposal to build ports and bridges and schools and hospitals, roads, whatever that they thought that leadership would be interested in, and at favorable rates, and it sounded really good, and so the country would go for it, and then after a few years, and they would give almost all the projects to the international globalist companies, corporations. Almost all the projects for all these things. So most of the money would actually go from the World Bank to the international corporations for building all the infrastructure that was promised. So the actual country itself didn't hardly benefit at all from the jobs. They just benefited from the result of the infrastructure improvements, but they couldn't make the payments, which they already knew, the people who are behind all this, and the IMF and the World Bank and all. Anyway, after a few years, they get behind on their payments. Now the IMF comes in, they're just a sister. It's just a sister of the World Bank. The IMF comes in and says, "Hey, we can reduce this payment, or we can reduce the balance, the principal balance, and we can help you out in all that if you just turn over some of these additional natural resources, mining, logging, mining." Whatever to us, to our, like that. So anyway, eventually the whole country gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. It gets eaten within, and then it gets people. They fall behind. Then the people start to retaliate. Then they send in the military saying this country needs peace, right? And then, it goes to hell in a handbasket.
That is what China is doing.
Yeah, that's what China is doing. Especially with their Silk Road and their Pearl whatever initiative, whatever they're doing there. Yeah. Anyways, Mitch, my 1 hour's up. I'm gonna let you go, buddy. But
okay.
If you want to come on Mike in the Night or Trends in the Housing Market, please keep us on the pulse. Let us know, okay?
Okay, I follow you. Good night, all.
Thanks. Have a good one. Bye, Mitch.
Good day. Bye-bye.
So that's Mitch coming in last second for the show. Always ready to come on the show. So guys, if you guys really truly want to go against the algorithm, if you don't mind doing this, guys, let me go to your article scan. Please go here. I need you guys to set your reminders for all these shows. The problem, I'm thinking, if there's too many people ready to go, is it going to affect me where they just shut me off? What are they going to do? I don't know, guys. I am kind of scared. Like, going forward, what's going to happen. And I'll show you this again, guys, on that Mike in the Night, that one there from 8 to 9 p.m., okay? I had 954 people watching that 1 hour. So people were tuning in and out of the show, or people were watching steady. I couldn't believe how many people were watching, and then they axed the show 20 minutes in. And that's just 20 minutes of playtime. Anyways, guys, this wraps up Can't Read Market Talk. So we're going to look at General Electric. We're going to look at NAK and TRX come Friday to clean up, to do a show cleanup, so we can clean up what we're looking at, and then going forward for the next Monday. So set your reminders, and don't forget to share this and get this out there. I really appreciate you guys' support, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and God bless.